Hello, everybody. My name is Chris, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my email Octopus review. I really hope that at some point somebody gets some value from this review because it's killing me. This is my fourth or fifth attempt, and yeah, you wouldn't know it, but this is taking a long time. Cool. So, what is Email Octopus? Email Octopus is an affordable email marketing tool that you can use to send newsletters and automated emails. Some cool information about Email Octopus. It was launched in 2014. It's got 34,000 users and it is headquartered in London. The primary features of Email Octopus include regular newsletter campaigns, email automation, sophisticated reporting, 15 plus templates for your email campaigns, and an excellent number of integrations. Let's look at the good and the bad in a little bit more detail. So in terms of the good, the obvious thing about Email Octopus is just that it's incredibly easy to send your first campaign. There is barely a learning curve at all, and it's very, very intuitive, even for people who potentially have never sent a newsletter before. The second thing, and this is what attracted me to Email Octopus, was the price. Email Octopus is priced incredibly fairly, especially in comparison to MailChimp and other service providers in the space. The third point is the number of email templates. We mentioned it before, but they work really well and look really great across all devices and for any occasion that you can think of. Next, we have the contacts. So contacts in Email Octopus are added via CSV. Managing those contacts is very easy. You can manually subscribe or unsubscribe people at your leisure, and it's very easy to find people. So when inevitably somebody does not find the unsubscribe link in your email and says, "Hey Chris, please unsubscribe me from the newsletter," it's very easy for me to go to Email Octopus, find that person with the email, and unsubscribe them. Next, we have reporting and analytics. This is more than enough for the average user. You get deliverability rates, you get open rates, you get click-through rates, and you get it presented in a really digestible manner, which is just fantastic. Next, we have the drag and drop editor. So once you've picked your template and you're starting to create your email, it's very easy to add new elements. You can easily add an image, a video, even social media share buttons. There's no coding or anything like that required. The final point I want to raise is that I've never encountered any bugs with Email Octopus. And I've used many email service providers in the past, and I've found that at crucial points, just before I'm going to send off my campaign, suddenly it crashes, or there's a bug, or it goes down, or for some reason, I can't send my campaign, which will then result in me having to get in touch with customer support and for an hour and a half try and negotiate and try and somehow get this campaign sent so that I can go home. With Email Octopus, that's never happened. Email Octopus is not just very cheap, but it's very sturdy as well. It's incredibly well built and just seems to be available at all times. Next, let's look at the bad. So the first thing is that the email automation is quite primitive. You would typically use email automation to onboard customers over a sustained period of time. Most of us have difficult products or services that we're trying to sell that one landing page or one email simply can't explain properly. In those cases, you would use email automation to send 3 or 4 emails that just talk about your core value propositions and explain why your service is so cool. Ideally, what you'd want is an email service provider that can communicate, probably through an API, with your database. That would then allow you to send emails that make sense for the stage that that person is in regarding your funnel. With Email Octopus, that's not the case. You can preset 3 or 4 emails that will be sent as a flow, but those get sent regardless of where that person is in the stage. The only trigger where that person is in the funnel, the only trigger you can pick is time related. So you can pick whether you want 1 or 2 or 3 days to elapse before the email automation hits. If you're looking for something more sophisticated, make sure to check out Customer IO, which is a really good, but unfortunately very expensive solution. The next bad part is that there's no segmentation. If you've ever used Mailjet or MailChimp, you'll know that it's possible to segment lists based on their characteristics. This allows you to send multiple emails to the same list at the same time, simply by using segmentation. In Email Octopus, as far as I'm aware, that's not possible. The third point is that there's no A/B testing out of the box. So it's relatively difficult to test different subject lines, for example, or different button placements. You need to do this manually as there is no A/B testing out of the box. The penultimate point I want to raise here is that you need to set up an AWS account. This is simply done, but it's just another step that you should be aware of. Before you get going, you do need to go to AWS, so you need to set up an account, and that will then hook into your Email Octopus account. The final bad point that I want to raise, and this is the most important by far, is how difficult it is to edit forms. Now, if you're anything like me, you'll use Email Octopus and email collection forms in general as part of your onboarding process in order to collect an email and then send out an automated email flow. In order for this to work, the form needs to look like a native, cohesive part of the page, blog post, or landing page. Editing the Email Octopus form with the kind of native editor that they provide is really difficult, and I would even say impossible. You can edit it a little bit, but it will never look like a native part of your landing page. Instead, what you need to do is you need to know CSS and HTML and really code it to make it look good. If you do not have any skills in terms of coding, and maybe you don't know somebody who does, then really stay away from the forms, because the editor itself will not make you happy. Right, how would you use Email Octopus? So there's three obvious ways. The first one is to collect emails. So in the long term, email marketing will be your most important marketing channel. It represents a direct communication between you and your audience, and you should collect emails as soon as possible. The second point regards automation. So as I mentioned before, and most of us have difficult products or services that can't be explained immediately. In those cases, you really want to create a simple onboarding flow comprising 3 or 4 automated emails that new signups, for example, receive. The final point I want to raise here is that you can use it to send newsletters. Now, this is obvious. You probably found this review because you're looking to do exactly that, but I just want to reiterate how important it is to just stay top of mind with your users and update them about your platform and your business, and just, again, remind them of your value proposition. In order to do that effectively, make sure to send a newsletter at least twice a month, ideally once a week, and just make sure to stay top of mind. Especially in the B2B space, this is absolutely crucial, where the sales cycle is longer. In the B2C space, it just reminds you again that you can boost your sales on a weekly basis by including cool offers in your newsletter. Cool, that's it from me. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I'm going to use this one, so thank God for that. Wishing you all a very lovely Friday, and yeah, thank you very much.